Houston 47, the Chicago Bears nothing. Welcome to those of you who watched that game, and welcome to this one. St. Louis 20, Minnesota nothing, with 2 minutes to go before the end of the first half. It is first and goal, Minnesota. The crowd at the Met comes to life. At the 8. Robert Miller bangs down to about the 6 before the Cardinals converge, led by Mike Dawson.
Neither quarterback has been close to being sacked. In fact, there's been little pressure on either one. And Foreman, working for Fran Tarkinen, has 36 yards pass receiving, 72 rushing for 108 yards total offense, and it's not at the half yet.
Averaging 9 yards a carry is Chuck Foreman in this game. Minnesota has all 3 of their timeouts remaining. It'll be second and goal for the Vikings. Parkinson, of course, the quarterback. He drops. Looks for Bob Tucker, but the sack gets him. Charlie Davis is the guy who led the charge. He was looking in the direction of Tucker, but nothing doing as Tarkenton strolls back now.
Charlie Davis, his 5th sack of the year. Had a couple the other night against the Giants. We saw him play against the Redskins in a losing cause and do a heck of a job from defensive tackle. And they're improving. And boy, if they get solid on that defensive side, these Cardinals are going to play a lot of football.
It is still third and goal, but now the ball is back at the 12-yard line. Clock ticking away now, just over a minute left before the half. St. Louis leads it 20-0. Tarkenton drops straight back. Fires into the end zone. Almost picked off by Roger Worley.
Sensabaugh went back into the corner too, didn't he? No, that's Roger Worley. Almost ended up on the pipe. Now he's sitting down on it.
That's the yard line marker that you're looking at right there. Tarkenton walks to the bench, and Fred Cox comes on.
But Grant, though, wants to get off the Snyder, Patty. You know, you don't want to see that 0 up on the board. Get 3 now, and there's a blocked extra point involved, so you feel you'll still be able to come back and get into the football game.
28-yard field goal attempt coming up here by Fred Cox. With Paul Krause holding it. Cox drills it. Not good again. And again the Blues welcome to Fred Cox. That's 4 in a row he's missed, including last week. The Vikings get there, and again, they get nothing. Graham didn't say a word. Look at it. Fred Cox, unusually inconsistent. And again, Grant says nothing. Just looks.
Boy, that look can turn your lights out.
Starting to drizzle just a bit now. Jim Hart and the Cardinals.
Hart is 9 for 9. Has not seen the ball on the ground after it's left his hand. Think about that.
Metcalf and Morris, the running backs behind him. Metcalf now shifts back. Morris tried to swing back to the inside. Matt Blair made the tackle. Vikings have had the ball 14 minutes, 47 seconds. Cardinals have had it 14 minutes, 20 seconds. But the Cardinals have 20 points.
Vikings have been moving the football all year, but they've only got 91 points at half season. That's, I think they had 160 something at this point last year.
They have not been able to get into the end zone, and Cox again has not been very consistent this year. He is now 5 out of 12, 2nd and 8. Hart gives. Mark Mullaney made the tackle on Wayne Morris for a loss.
Mullaney's a big guy from Fort Collins, Colorado. He's playing in place of Jim Marshall, who must have re-injured that hamstring pull. Let's watch the play now. You'll see it to the left part. I believe Finney just can't handle him this time. Number 77 just runs right over the top of the blocker. Good play.
Hart pays a visit to the sideline. Don Coryell looking over his shoulder now. The conversation goes on.
Remember when Jimmy Hart came up, he had one of those years where they had 30 interceptions. And
right.
Sometimes young quarterbacks are ruined, but as soon as they put the right people around him and gave him protection, this guy's as cool a customer as there is squeezing it off, I'll tell you.
Don't forget to stick with us at the half for highlights and scores from around the league.
See a lot of Vikings looking down at the ground on that sidelines over there.
They have been flat from the beginning. Jim Hart's been sharp from the beginning.
As we've said, that offensive line that he works with, they should run a pirate ship. They are tough and aggressive and very, very good at their trade.
10 seconds left before the half. It is St. Louis 20, Minnesota nothing. Both teams have been able to move the ball on offense. Here's Jim Hart then on third down. Draw play to Morris. He swings to the outside. He's going to have enough for a first down and maybe more. Morris trying to get out of bounds and finally does it midfield. Jeff Wright got him out of bounds with 2 seconds remaining before the half. Boy, he's a good-looking runner.
You talk about running to daylight. Now watch Finney sort of tip pass, and number 77 will go to the outside, and then they just take him that way. Page gets caught chasing around, and I'm telling you, it's a relay again. I've never seen so many wide-open offensive players in one half of football on both sides.
Cardinals will have time for one more play as Morris got out of bounds. Ball just shy of midfield where it'll be 1st and 10. I think I've ever seen the crowd quite this quiet here.
Anywhere.
Last play of the first half. Hart. Deep for Gray. Picked off and out of bounds. That'll do it.
It's as good as a coffin corner punt, though, isn't it?
Nate Allen made the interception. And that's the last play of the first half as the Vikings here boo as they head to the locker room.
Bandit, clean that carburetor. Get a hold of this and do it yourself. Keep the change, partner.
Sell again! I struck oil! We can get married now.
But, Billy Joe, you are dressed for a Del Rio dogfight. You'd sure look better in Hager's slacks. Or a Hager sport coat and slacks. Even a Hager vested suit. A variety of outfits you don't have to be rich to afford. Oh, Billy Joe, you look like $1 million.
Make that two.
Billy Joe.
Because looking good makes you feel good. Rafferty relies on unorthodox treatment when an unknown disease threatens the life of his nurse.
It hurts like hell. What's the matter with me? Brought her home to die. I can't help it. I don't want to be this way.
If you want to go, go all the way.
Join Rafferty on a life-saving mission. Monday at 10, 9 Central and Mountain.
Next Saturday, CBS Sports Spectacular presents highlights of NASCAR's 18th annual Dixie 500 with the leading stock car drivers racing for the checkered flag. The Pendleton Roundup Rodeo with Larry Mahan and Tom Ferguson heading the field of top cowboys. Plus, the world's strongest men competition featuring the vehicle pull. That's next Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern.
All right, Cincinnati bounced back into the playoff picture this afternoon, beating the Cleveland Browns by a score of 10-7. Quarterback Kenny Anderson completed 14 of 19 passes for 153, including this to Isaac Curtis at the 16-yard line of the Browns. Curtis out of bounds, and it sets up this touchdown. Pete Johnson under fire from Boobie Clark, his teammate, who says I should be playing. Well, Johnson showed him it was 7-0. Here's Brian Sipe, 20 of 28 for 189 yards for the Browns. This one to Rucker, run out at the 13, sets up this touchdown. Sipe wants his tight end Oscar Rohn at the 1-yard line, and Rohn in for the score. It was tied at 7. And for the second week in a row, Chris Barr won it with a field goal, 10-7. Cincinnati's record now 4-4, and the Cleveland Browns are 5-3. Let's now get you up to date on all of the games that are underway and all of the final scores. Oakland leading Seattle 20-0 in the second quarter. Denver has just scored again, 21-0 ahead of Pittsburgh. The Steelers are in trouble right now. St. Louis, the game you're watching, leading Minnesota, and I'll tell you that missed extra point could still prove to be a problem in that game. Los Angeles leading winless Tampa Bay by 10 in the second quarter. Now final scores. Kansas City beats Green Bay 20-10. AFC gets another victory against the NFC. Likewise here, Chicago played a dreadful game, 47-0. Houston a big winner, a lot of big plays. San Diego, the first AFC team to lose to an NFC team, 20-0. The Lions shut them out at home. The big upset of the day, Buffalo over New England, 24-14. Grogan was intercepted 4 times. Hooks replaces O.J. Simpson and gains 156 yards. Cincinnati and Cleveland, the highlights I just showed you. The Bengals win it by 3. Miami beats the New York Jets by 4. Greasy to Harris for 2 touchdowns in that game. San Francisco wins its 3rd in a row over Atlanta by 7. Philadelphia, Ron Jaworski tosses for 2 and runs for 2 more. 28-7 the final there. The Dallas Cowboys remain the only unbeaten team in the National Football League, 8 in a row, 24-10 over the Giants. And Phyllis, there must be some other news besides football today.
Yeah, well, there certainly is, Brent. In fact, in Atlanta, the Dixie 500 has been stopped due to rain after 336 miles, with Dave Pearson leading. Now, the word is they started up again with Richard Petty and Cale Yarbrough in 2nd and 3rd positions. And you can see the highlights of that race next Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time on the CBS Sports Spectacular. Now, in baseball news, Atlanta Braves owner Ted Turner appears closer to hiring New York Yankees coach Bobby Cox. Cox flew to Atlanta to meet with Turner, and a group of New Orleans businessmen visited Oakland A's owner Charlie Finley today in an effort to move the team to the Superdome. No deal is made as of yet. And this unusual development in New York this afternoon. The Attorney General has asked 5 boxing promoters to pay their back taxes to the state for matches they promoted last year. Combined, they owe more than, you ready for this, $400,000. Good luck, fellas.
Phyllis, speaking of highlights, you wait until you see White Shoes Johnson in action for Houston against Chicago. Back with that as the NFL Today continues on CBS after these messages from your local stations.
2 reporters try to scoop each other, but it's Lou Grant who gets the blame when their efforts backfire. Tuesday night on CBS.
The unbeaten Dallas Cowboys now return home, and a week from tomorrow night, they host the St. Louis Cardinals. Irv, show us some highlights from that Giant game.
We'll take a look at it. Of course, the Cowboys won that game 24-10, and they came into Giant Stadium with everything going for them. Number 1 in total offense, number 1 in total defense, but they needed a break on special teams. Danny White punting the ball here to the Giants. Hammond bobbles it. Ball's picked up by the Giants here again. Ernie Jones, he's hit and fumbles, and is picked up by Jay Salty, who scoots into the end zone for the first score of the day, 7-0. Giants ball here on the 20-yard line. Pisarcik, 2nd and 7. Throwing the ball here is picked off by Cliff Harris, which sets up this play. Now, this is a long pass here. Stahlbach trying to get deep here to Richards, and he's interfered in the end zone by Bill Bryant. So first down for the Cowboys on the 1-yard line. Dorsett goes in. Score, Dallas 21, New York 3. Bobby Hammond tries to make up for that muff punt as a Danny White kick here settles around the 40-yard line, and watch Bobby go. He carries that ball down to the 7-yard line, setting up a Hammond touchdown from the 1. You'll see it in a second. Dallas 21, New York 10. They went on to win the ball game 24-10 and remain undefeated.
We have a couple of teams that know each other very well. Got together down in Atlanta. The San Francisco 49ers and the Atlanta Falcons, as expected, a tough defensive game all the way. This is the opening kickoff to start the second half. Paul Hoffer gets his hands on it for the 49ers, and this turns out to be a very pivotal return in this game. The special team leading the way for the 49ers. Jimmy Plunkett held the 5 of 12 for 50 yards, but this a key pass. He hits Tom Mitchell, his tight end. Now Wilbur Jackson gets the touchdown. It's the first rushing touchdown this season against the Atlanta Falcons. It was 7-0. Atlanta trying to come back. 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line. Woody Thompson will fumble now, and he had daylight ahead of him as he turned upfield. Recovered by Tony Winter of San Francisco, and he got back to the 19-yard line. Darrell Williams now takes the handoff from Plunkett. Looks like good blocking set up, but he's jarred loose, and that gives you an indication of how tough both these defensive units played. Freddie Steinfort, now kicking for Atlanta, got a field goal, but that was all they got, 10-3. Herb, the Philadelphia Eagles have got a quarterback. Jaworski played so well today.
Had a great day. Ran for 2 touchdowns, passed for 2 touchdowns. The Eagles walked off with a victory of the New Orleans Saints by a score of 28-7, and there were fireworks all day. There's Jaworski's first score in the second quarter, 7-0. Jaworski passes to Herb Luska on this play, and Herb makes a real nice catch here. Ball almost picked off and goes down to the 6-yard line. Jaworski going to a 6'8" wide receiver, Harold Carmichael. He picks it off. That's his first catch. He's caught passes in 74 consecutive games. Touchdown. Bobby Douglas tries to get back, and his ball is picked off here by John Deke Sanders. His second interception of the day and his 4th of the year. Takes the ball down to the New Orleans 6-yard line, and Jaworski goes to Carmichael again. 2 pass receptions for Carmichael today, 16 yards, 2 touchdowns. Philadelphia 21-0 there. Ron Jaworski rolls out there, puts a little icing on the cake. He goes in, and the Eagles win 28-7.
Irvin Phillips, it's now time for the White Shoes Billy Johnson show. Did he sting the Chicago Bears today? We're going to show you the end around. His first touchdown, but it was just the beginning. 61 yards for the big guy as he turns it loose. Got that great speed, got to the outside, and the Bears couldn't stay with him. Now, White Shoes, the first thing we want to see is a little dance down there from you in the end zone. That's it. Don't disappoint. Pastorini, 12 of 19, 247 yards, 2 touchdowns to Kenny Burrow, 85, and this one for 43 yards. Walter Payton, what kind of a day did he have? 18 carries, 79 yards, and he was in trouble here. Going to fumble and watch Greg Bingham scoop it up and run 34 yards for the touchdown for the Oilers. Mike Phipps replaced Bob Avellini, and the Oilers buried the former Cleveland quarterback. It was a 2-point safety. Free kick coming up now from Chicago, and it is Johnson's turn again. Right straight up the middle he came, threaded his way through 3 would-be tacklers, broke a tackle by a 4th, got to the outside. Now, White Shoes, we've seen you dance. What else can you do for us down there? 47-0. Why not dunk it over the top of the end zone? Miami and the New York Jets. The Jets lost their brilliant young quarterback, Richard Todd, to a knee injury. Dom Reyes tried to rally him, but it was this combination right here. Bob Greasy, 12 of 15, 132 yards. Hit Harris here for the first of 2 touchdowns, and watch him come right back to Harris. Watch Greasy thread this one. 2 defenders right there. Harris has got it, and it was 14-3 Miami. The Jets tried. This is 4th and 1 inside, and the Dolphin defense held. Now here's Dom Reyes going to Barkham for the touchdown that made it 14-10. But again, it was the Dolphin defense that came up with the big plays. Watch them pressure Dom Reyes. He had enough time. He just couldn't spot an open receiver. Get rid of it, Marty. Find somebody. He did, but not enough. 14-10 was the final score. The New York Jets lose to the Miami Dolphins, and the NFL Today will continue on CBS in just a moment.
Should have bought Mobile One. The oilet saves you gas, you know.
Should have bought Mobile One. Helps you start at 35 below.
Should have bought Mobile One. Engine temperature hits 500. You're cool.
Should have bought Mobile One. You only change it every 15,000 miles.
Mobile One, the oil that does it all. Take it from an expert.
Oh, they're engaged.
Sit close together.
Show your ring.
Take their picture.
Hold it.
Only one instant film gives you this bright, brilliant color by Kodak.
Gorgeous. Oh, color. Are my eyes really that blue?
They're that blue.
Yuck.
Wait till you grow up.
There's only one way to get brilliant instant color by Kodak with Kodak Instant Print Film.
Are my eyes really that blue?
Only one instant film gives you this bright, brilliant color by Kodak.
When you win games in the last minute, like the St. Louis Cardinals, you gotta have heart. That's why we're called the Cardiac Cards. Hello, I'm Dan Deerdorf, and I'd like to show you where I live and work. This fantastic gateway arch stands for the settlers and trappers who came through here on their way to explore America. Some of them stayed and passed on their pioneer spirit. That's why the arch stands for a new St. Louis, too. For our new stadium and a rebuilt downtown. For new riverboats on the Mississippi, new parks and fountains, and people enjoying their town. These people are United Way volunteers. their neighbors, fans, and teammates working for the Boy Scouts, Salvation Army, and many other agencies funded by our local United Way. They're proud of the Cardinals, our city, and our United Way. I guess you could say they have the spirit of St. Louis. For all of them, we'd like to say, thanks to you. It works for all of us, the United Way.
The preceding announcement was brought to you as a public service by the National Football League. Cardinals have returned to the field. The Vikings have not as yet. I guess they got a lot.
That might not be a bad idea.
I can't remember seeing them so sluggish. Can you?
Well, we saw the Rams sort of roll them over a couple of weeks ago, but I've never seen anything like the statistics at halftime. The Cardinals have 258 yards total offense, and that's an entire game for the Viking defense normally. And the bottom line is points, Patrick. Tarkin is 11 for 18 for 77 yards, but there are no points to speak of. There are no turnovers. They're just being handled offensively.
It is not that Minnesota hasn't been able to move the football, because they have. Fred Cox has missed 2 field goals. Those are the halftime statistics that Tom was just talking about.
The only incompletion by Jimmy Hart was the last one, when he sort of disdainfully decided to throw it into the corner and maybe get a touchdown on Mel Gray. Look at this. 124 yards rushing and 134 passing at half.
Bud Grant and his Vikings have returned to the field, and I imagine that he had some words of encouragement or words of disdain or whatever. But at any rate, the score is the St. Louis Cardinals 20, the Minnesota Vikings nothing.
Remember, the first original drive, a very good one by Tarkington, you see him warming up there, ended with Fred Cox missing that first short field goal. And that had to take a lot of the air out of the sails right there.
Bud Grant and Chuck Foreman trotting back across the field. Foreman had a good first half. As I said a moment ago, it's not that the Vikings couldn't move it. The Cardinals have been most impressive, particularly on offense.
Foreman had 72 yards on 8 carries. That's a 9-yard average. And caught 4 passes for 36 yards. Fram missed a couple of wide-open receivers and then badly underthrew Sammy White. And I'll tell you one thing, if you don't outscore this team, I'm talking about those guys in the red and white, you're in real trouble.
Jim Hart, as Tom mentioned, only had 1 pass incomplete. This was the last play of the first half. Nate Allen back to make the interception.
Makes me think that Jimmy Hart doesn't even worry about statistics and all. He's just running the football team and winning games.
Number 21, the dangerous Terry Metcalf, back deep for St. Louis. Fred Cox will kick off for Minnesota. And as that is announced, some boos come trickling down the stands for Fred Cox. Cox line drive kick into the direction of Jackie Smith, I believe, for 81. Flies up inside the wedge. Cox didn't get it back to Metcalf. That was by intention, I'm sure.
Oh, LaRue really got hit, but number 81 likes it, doesn't he? He was one of the first tight ends, he and Retzlaff, that could go deep. And they showed that position sort of a new dimension.
They got one that can go deep now. In the person of J.D. Kane. Jim Hart, and a first down at the 35-yard line. The Cardinals lead the Vikings 20-0. First play of the scrimmage of the second half. First and 10 at the 35. Metcalf came in motion. Morris breaks into the secondary again. He got about 12 before Carl Eller made the tackle, and that's the first time we've mentioned his name today.
First call for number 81. Now remember, this team, the Vikings, have been allowing 5 yards per rushing the last 2 games. Those were the Atlanta win and the Los Angeles loss. And look what Eller had to do to get on the call sheet. He had to go back into linebacker territory to make the tackle.
Metcalf, that's what he's done so far.
16!
First down to St. Louis. And again, it's Morris, and again, he gets 4 or 5 yards right straight ahead. Morris has now carried 11 times for 85 yards. A 5th-round draft choice out of SMU.
I was trying to figure who the guys taken in front of him must have been. Those first 4 should be playing somewhere.
Mark Mullaney, number 77, still playing there. in place of Jim Marshall at right defensive end for Minnesota. 2nd and 5. Hart gives to Metcalf, and he's got a good hole in front of him. Harry Metcalf shakes a couple of tacklers, gets inside the 35 to the 34. Fred McNeil finally made the tackle, and the Cardinals certainly lost nothing on offense at the half.
A great block by Conrad Dobler. Now you're going to see Mullaney being handled on the line of scrimmage. Dobler will come behind this pulling, and while you hear a lot of funny things about it, here's J.B. Kane working with Ike Harris. Dobler comes right through there and really ran over the cornerback.
At the 34, 1st and 10 for St. Louis again. Morris bangs to about the 30. Jeff Seaman made the tackle. But the Cardinals continue to chew up good yardage running.
Metcalf will become a free agent after this season. I have a feeling that he may get the concessions at the Arch in St. Louis. I have a feeling he's going to stick around town somewhere.
4-yard pickup by Morris, make it 2nd and 6. Opening second, with quarter number 3. 20-0 St. Louis. Morris again gets the call, and look at this guy. Inside the 5, fumble. Minnesota has it. Morris almost scored. The Vikings now have something to cheer about as they recover. At about the 2, it was Matt Flair who made the recovery.
And only the 4th fumble that the Vikings have recovered all year. Right time.
St. Louis 20, Minnesota nothing. Vikings ball. Targeted drops in his own end zone and throws. Robert Miller. Stopped by Carney.
I guess it's sort of a cliche, but Fran's got to go back to picking here and picking there a little bit too. He can't flag it and go for broke all the time. He's really got to go back to a stable offense, but he's got nothing but a big egg up there on the scoreboard. 20 to zip.
9-yard pickup on that pass completion, make it 2nd and 1. Foreman and Miller to defense. This is Chuck Foreman. To the outside and enough for a first down, not much more. Up by Eric Williams, playing in place of Steve Niels.
Seldom have we ever seen a Minnesota team embarrassed. And I can't remember the last time in Bloomington that they were embarrassed.
Foreman got enough for the first down. They are being embarrassed right now. 20-0 the score by a very sharp-looking Cardinal offensive team.
And the band didn't even play well at halftime.
They were flat. Targeted drops on first down and throw. Wide open is Stu Boyd.
There he is, Mr. Steady. He's answered the challenge to Bob Tucker by just making another one of his phantom catches. Gets double on the outside. The young secondary doubles on the outside, and Fran quickly picked this up. You can play rubber band defense when you're ahead 20-0.
Mike Sensabaugh made the tackle on Stu Boyd. Another Viking first down. 10 minutes, 40 seconds left in the third quarter. 20-0 St. Louis. Outside to Foreman. Eric Williams right there with him. That's why they like him so much.
And he had man-to-man responsibility. He was running through the traffic as other linebackers were going to their areas. Oh, there's a good-looking rookie linebacker. Watch this now. You'll see him going from your right to left. There he is chasing. When ball and player meet, there's Williams.
Foreman's pretty strong himself, isn't he? There's Eric Williams. The 1-yard pickup. Ball's at the 27-yard line. 2nd and 9. Cardinals fake the blitz and then dunk. Talking to try to go deep. Through the outside. Picked off by Roger Worley. Worley made the interception for St. Louis. And now Tarkenton hears some movement.
The 12th interception for Fran at about halfway through the season. That's not a normal number 10 statistic either. He gets into a panic situation. Rashad running the out. Worley's like a bloodhound.
Good cornerback.
get to be the superstar in renting car when you've got the kind of people who can get things ready, even before you get there. Hertz has more of them than anyone. People who want to get their job done fast and who can put out that extra effort when things get busy.
Go, Hertz, go.
People who know the most important thing is getting each customer away fast into a reliable Ford or other fine car. Come to Hertz.
The superstar in rent-a-car.
You know it.
Be here Sunday when Archie gets hooked on uppers.
Oh, this is gonna wake up the neighbors.
Hey, neighbors!
Sunday at 9, 8 Central and Mountain.
With Tom Brookshire, this is Pat Summerall at Metropolitan Stadium in Bloomington, Minnesota, where Roger Worley's interception has just given the Cardinals the ball in Minnesota territory at the 35. They already lead 10-0. First and 10. 20-0, I'm sorry. Hart gives to Morris, and again he finds some good running room. Alan Page made the tackle.
Alan Page has played at about 223 or 4 pounds, and you can be quick, but you can't fool those guys when they weigh 260 across from you. And that Young is as big as a horse.
Minnesota's been playing a lot more three-man line with Page right in front of the center. Cardinal offensive unit sets it up on second down. Right ahead is Morris again. And again, he gets good yardage. Down to about the 25-yard line before Matt Blair made the tackle. See what happened to Page.
Alan Page, lighter, still as quick. Banks just ran him out of the play and kept him there. And you don't have to do that for very long with those thoroughbreds running, I'll tell you.
At the half, the Broncos shutting out the Pittsburgh Steelers 21-0. Joe Green had said during the week it's time to stop talking and start playing. Time to do more than that. 20-0 here. Cardinals leading. Here's Terry Metcalf behind Bob Young. Close to the 20.
Metcalf, the ball carrier.
Denver's the team that shut out these St. Louis Cardinals 7-0 on opening day, and you've got to see the defense that does that. I can't see anybody shutting down this offense the way it's going right now.
Not with those receivers and now two fine running backs.
Jim Otis can't play, and he had 1,000 yards a couple years ago.
Second and 6 now at the Minnesota 21. Cardinals have 191 yards rushing already. Page jumped. Here's Morris swinging to the outside and cutting it down the sideline. Out of bounds at about the 11 by Paul Krause. Flag on the play as the Vikings appeared to jump offside.
And Matt Blair, who played so well against Atlanta, was caught inside that time, and Morris just wheeled around and made it look very, very easy.
Side defense 88, decline the penalty. It's first down.
First down, St. Louis. Violation against Alan Page. The Cardinals decline, so it's a first and 10 for them at the Minnesota 11-yard line. The Cardinals again lead 20-0.
Coryell must have said, do not take prisoners, because I'll tell you, they're going for more.
Oh, they look sharp. Nothing doing this time as Alan Page, with that quickness, beat the blocks.
It was offsides, and you don't beat a quality player 2 or 3 times in a row. He just ran right inside of Young and made the tackle.
Scott Studwell is number 55. He has taken Jeff Seaman's place. So 2 of the key members of that defense are out, Marshall and Seaman now. No gain on the last play, so it's second and 10 at the 11. Metcalf swings around to the outside. He's going to score. He does. Into the end zone is Terry Metcalf. The ball came loose, but he was already in.
They put Gray and J.V. Kane in left formation, ran to the weak side, and made it look incredibly easy, and Carl Eller never showed up, neither did Blair.
35 yards in 6 plays, a touchdown by that guy, Terry Metcalf.
Here he is. Banks goes onside. There goes Eller. Able to leap buildings with a single bound.
Jim Bakken will try. Worley holds, and it's good. St. Louis now 27. Minnesota nothing. We have 7 minutes and 5 seconds left in the third quarter, with the Cardinals looking tough.
I'm John Kelly, a tire engineer. If you think your tires are almost indestructible, then this may be the most important message about tires that you've ever seen. Watch closely.
This car's been running for some time now with one front tire dangerously underinflated.
Inside, heat is building up, till finally, a blowout. Now, here's what can happen when tires are overloaded. Another blowout, another emergency stop.
Any tire can fail under hazardous road conditions, and if it's badly worn, it can fail to stop on wet pavement.
Remember, your tire safety depends on tire wear and load, on where and how you drive, and on carefully checking for proper inflation when tires are cold with an accurate gauge like this one. Because even an expert can't tell by just looking, especially with radial tires. If you don't look after your tires, you're looking for trouble.
The last touchdown came on 6 plays, which the Cardinals went 35 yards after an interception by Roger Worley. 7 minutes, 5 seconds left third quarter, 27-0 St. Louis. The high kick into the direction of Manfred Moore, but Miller's going to take it at the 20. Robert Miller swings up to about the 40. Now we'll have another look at that Minnesota offense. Don't forget the CBS Sports Spectacular next Saturday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time, featuring the Dixie 500, the Pendleton Roundup Rodeo, and the World's Strongest Men competition. Next Saturday at 4:30 Eastern Time here on CBS, the Sports Spectacular. The running backs here are Robert Miller and Chuck Foreman. First down Vikings.
We haven't seen young Kramer warm up yet, have we?
No. Miller takes the pass from Tarkenton and gets nothing.
Now if you're playing defense, you begin to say, all right, let's get a couple of interceptions. Let's force them to make mistakes, because number 10's got to start to gamble now. He's got to get it in big gobs, and he's not used to doing it that way.
Just over 6.5 minutes left to play in the third quarter. As you look in on the Cardinal defensive huddle.
I'd like to bend the biorhythms on that entire Cardinal team for today's game. Break the bank.
4-yard loss on that pass completion, so it's 2nd and 14 as Tarkenton drops and throws. Chuck Foreman, as Mike Sensabaugh knocked the ball down.
You notice there was no aggressive reaction even by Foreman. Instead of drilling the safety man, he acted like, well, this is part of the game today. You're from behind Fran Tarkenton, and that's about the safest place I can think of. Across the middle, Sensabaugh really reads it, almost picks it off.
Robert Giblin, number 28, is the extra defensive back in the game for St. Louis. Tarkenton again drops and fires. Intended for Sammy White. Nelson back there with him. The coverage was good. And the boos come out for Tarkenton now. Watch it.
Here he is, the young man from Florida State. As we've said, the Vikings have to gamble. And now the Cardinals don't.
They send Terry Metcalf deep. 21, number 12 for Minnesota is Neil Flabeau. Number 12. They're going to try to set up a return. Metcalf lets it bounce first. Viking coverage is good. They down it at the 20, where the Cardinals will take over. Matt Blair was down on the coverage. So with 5 minutes, 57 seconds left in the third quarter, it is St. Louis 27, Minnesota nothing.
It took it all. Bitter cold. 120 degrees. 5 dead batteries. Nearly 4 hours with the lights on. 3 months on a frozen lake. And now it's maintenance free. The Die Hard, sold only at Sears.
In stage 1 of my life, I couldn't stand dull wheels. I'm the same in stage 2 with my new 78 Ford LTD2, the trimmer, sportier LTD at a trimmer price. The LTD of mid-size cars. If you're a sporty guy who appreciates the finer things in life, welcome to stage 2.
Isn't it you in an LTD2? You'll never know till you try.
Welcome to LTD2.
A better idea from Ford.
St. Louis Cardinals have the football, and they have the lead as well, 27-0 over the Vikings. 5:57 left to play in the third quarter. Los Angeles now leading Tampa Bay 24-0 in the third quarter.
St. Louis people can look forward to their team playing the Dallas Cowboys again, and they gave Dallas all they could handle in game number 1. Game number 2 should be a real fiasco.
You saw what a day Wayne Morris is having. Metcalf goes in motion. Morris is the other running back. Fakes to him. It's out to Mel Gray. He gets away from one tackle. Mel Gray with the great speed. About a 9-yard pickup before Mark Mullaney gets over with Mel Gray.
I'll bet you can count missed tackles by Bobby Bryant in his career up here on one hand. And he had Gray read perfectly and flat missed it.
Bob Young, who was a little bit gimpy going in.
Yeah, that's his natural walk there.
That's what he chooses to do.
If I was playing for Minnesota right now, I'd get in a fight with somebody and get thrown out very quickly.
2nd and 1. 9-yard pickup on that pass to Mel Gray. Here's Morris again. Look at that hole. Wayne Morris. Easy first down for the Cardinals.
And if I was really intelligent, I'd fight one of my own players and get thrown out.
Tom Hannon made the tackle. An embarrassing day at the Met for the Vikings.
Boy, is he quick.
Morris, you mean?
Morris can do it all. And he's had to work for it. He's no superhero coming out of college. He's just a good football player.
And Metcalf, as you can see, also had a good day, or has had. There he is. They used to call him the franchise. You can see why. That's Morris spinning back to the inside. Got about 4 before Scott Studwell made the tackle.
Let's take a look if we can. We'll get Sandy Grossman, our director, to watch the line play on this for a while because I don't know if I've ever seen an offensive line set the tempo like this one does for St. Louis. They just go out and get a hold of you and let's go.
Metcalf apparently had some kind of an equipment problem. So he's gone out. Jerry Latin has taken his place. Latin will get the carry. James White made the tackle for 72.
By the way, if people are wondering, our mics on the field are working and all, and the stadium is still packed. There is just not a sound.
It is very quiet. No enthusiasm. Not from the crowd, at least.
Look at the composure on this offensive team. Don't forget Ike Harris, the fellow just broke the huddle. He's another very fine receiver.
3rd and 5 now. The ball at the 41-yard line. Cardinals have it in their own territory. Jim Hart calls the signals, and he's going to drop and throw. And Hart down the middle, wide open, is J.B. Kane in Minnesota territory at the 44 before Tom Hannon made the tackle.
Kane at about 6'5", 225. J.B. Kane runs the 40 in about 4'7". And I'll tell you, he is a great-looking athlete. Watch this now. Here's the line play we talked about. They protect this man. Hart's only been down 8 times this year. This is right on target.
Offensive holding,
8 yards.
number 64.
J.B. Kane, the tight end.
It is all called back. Ben Trice just said number 64 was holding, and that is Bob Young. That first down, forget about it. Cardinals have it 3rd down. And about 15 yards to go back in their own territory. There's Young. 3rd and 14. He was in that world's strongest men competition, by the way.
He did great when they bit the nails and bent those bars, too.
Yeah. strong friends next to him, too. Hart drops the throw behind good protection again. This time it's picked off by Bobby Bryant. And it's for Harris.
The third interception for Bobby Bryant. As we've said, he's been such a quality big player for the Vikes. They try to stun up front, but Hart had time. This is just good defense.
Pass is intended for Ike Harris. Minnesota has it 1st and 10 in St. Louis territory at the 47. Tarkenton's going to throw right away, and does. Chuck Foreman has it. Close to first down yardage. Stopped by John Zook.
Trying to figure out how the defensive end got back into the secondary to make the tackle. They are really hustling.
It is a Minnesota first down. And a chance to cheer. It's been rare for this crowd today. Ball at the St. Louis 37 now. Ben Drive indicates start the clock again. Fran Tarkenton. Hugh Boyd is number 83. He is tight to the right side. White is right. Straight ahead is Sammy Johnson. Number 48. 225-pound runner.
A ripple of excitement has gone through the crowd.
Just a ripple.
Just a small ripple.
3-yard pickup by Johnson makes it 2nd and 7. Just over 2 minutes left in the third quarter. Chuck Foreman knifes his way down, close to first down yardage again. Mark Arneson made the tackle.
Good block by Goodrum on the left side. Foreman's even going back to the huddle slower than he usually does.
Make it 3rd and 2. The ball now at the Cardinal 29-yard line. 27-0 St. Louis. That's what Tarkenton has done so far today. Here's Chuck Foreman swinging around to the outside and cutting back. Chuck Foreman, first down. Minnesota. John Zook finally made the tackle.
Tarkenton, he's never been a big cheerleader type guy, but he's always been a great leader on the field. Going back to basics. And this is basic.
Foreman goes out, so it's McClanahan and Sammy Johnson the runners. Tarkenton throws to the outside. Pass is incomplete. Intended for Ahmad Rashad. Worley again on the coverage. Flag is down on the far side of the field. There's Rashad, number 28.
Might have been a double chug. Offside.
Cardinals offside. Cardinals lead 27-0. With a minute and 2 seconds left in the third quarter. It's been Drive marking it off. He'll tell us in a second who did it.
Defense offside, number 73.
Mike Dawson was the guy who was offside. You say you played baseball against Ben Drive?
Yes, I did play. Unfortunately, one of my 12-hit, 3-inning pitching performances was against Ben Drive.
Tarkenton gives to Johnson. Johnson cuts inside. Inside the 15. John Zook again made the tackle.
Closing seconds of round number 3, and the Vikings not on the board. It's an incredible thing to see on the scoreboard up here.
Ball just inside the 15-yard line. There's Don Coryell. Johnson again. Breaks the tackle, slips a couple more. Down inside the 10-yard line. First down, Vikings. Carney made the tackle.
Remember, the Vikings had 2 good drives and got absolutely nothing out of them. No scoring at all. They have moved the football pretty well.
Chuck Foreman checks back in, and he and Johnson are the running backs. At the 9, first and goal, and Tarkenton goes to the corner. Touchdown, Sammy White.
Touchdown number 5 for 85. Very simple turnout pattern into the end zone. Here he is driving Nelson off. He cuts it in good. Good pattern. You don't see a lot of receivers able to make the good cuts anymore.
Pretty hard to cover a guy with that kind of ability. Ball Krause holding for Fred Cox. Block. Cox's extra point attempt is blocked. 27-6. Flags all over the place. Cox might get another chance. Looked like he was just slow kicking that.
It didn't get up either.
No.
It was blocked waist high.
That could be a very lonely spot when things aren't going good.
Nobody would know better than you, Patrick. The leg feels like it's going to fall off, huh?
Oh, boy. The jelly in the kneecap. So Krause puts it down. Cox hits it. Listen. Here's the touchdown again.
Again, Fran Tarkenton went back to bits and pieces and came out with a good drive, an excellent drive. It looked like the Cardinals may have pulled off a little bit on defense, and they better get that edge back.
6 seconds left to play in the third quarter. Tarkenton, Cox visit with Bud Grant. What's happened to Rhoda?
Rhoda's fallen in love with a man that owns a restaurant. The way to his heart is through his stomach, or something like that. But it's going to be a good show.
Tonight at 8 p.m. here on CBS, 7 Central and Mountain Time. Forget Rhoda. Minnesota scoring drive, 7 plays. They went 47 yards after an interception by Bobby Bryant. 2 minutes and 48 seconds it took.
You know, Freddie Cox only needs 10 more points now to pass Lou Gross and become the second all-time scorer.
Line drive kickoff goes to Metcalf. Metcalf takes his time. He's up to about the 27-yard line where the Cardinals will take over. That's the end of the third quarter. With the score, 27-7. St. Louis over Minnesota. We now pause for a word from your local station.